Okay, I think we are live, or we're at least preparing to be live. I need to hit record too. Let's do that. Oh, it does this where it gives me a little bit of like it starts playing on the same computer, so it's kind of funny. Okay, we are live, so very exciting. As soon as I find the record button, we will actually start. I guess if it's live, it's already recording, right? We'll record it anyway. I might need it somewhere else. Okay, so excited to have you here today, and it's Monday morning. It's time for our Mental Toughness Monday. Last week we talked about, anybody remember already? World
Remember,
class being ferociously cooperative. Was that right for
yeah.
last
Right.
week? Yeah. Okay. Any thoughts or any what did you experience this week with ferocious cooperation? Anything?
I went and saw The Boys in the Boat, and that's similar to I'd read the book already. The movie about the hockey team. You have to work as a team to make it work. You can't just
Yes.
do your own thing.
Yes. Oh, so beautiful. Any other ferocious cooperation stories from this week or thoughts? We went to Phoenix for our sisters retreat. And when we go on this, it gets bigger all the time because I have five sisters and my mother, and then we have two sisters-in-law, which are part of our sisters. And then we have grown daughters who are over 18 who we decided we want them to be part of our sisters group, our sisters retreat. We want them to feel like they're a part of the women in our family. And so anyway, and it's so fantastic. So there were I think 13 of us that ended up going. So we flew into Phoenix and we picked up a 15 passenger van, and I had rented the van, so I was the driver, and also I've owned a 15 passenger van before, so I wasn't scared to drive it. And then one of our sisters-in-law had lived in Phoenix, and one of our sisters-in-law still lives in Phoenix. We stayed at her house, but one that flew in with us had lived in Phoenix. And so I put her immediately, I asked her if she would be in the front seat, helping me navigate so that we could get to all the places. And she was fantastic. And then another sister started, kind of organizing activities. And another sister said, we better talk about food. And it was the most amazing experience. And nobody was the leader, but everyone was ferociously cooperative. Or I should say everyone was the leader at some point because they would just, pop in and start talking about stuff. So it's the most wonderful thing in the world to travel with a bunch of capable mothers who get all the things done and have no demands. It's so amazing. But it was really, really fantastic and definitely ferociously cooperative as everyone took a little role on something and shared something special with us. And we flew in Thursday morning and we flew back yesterday, and it was just wonderful. And there were plenty of things that went wrong, and that and changes and different things, but it was just an amazing experience, and I loved it so much. It was so good.
That's awesome.
Hey, Brenda, what about the fierce cooperation of the husbands so you guys can actually take your trip?
Tell me about it. Absolutely. Go ahead and share because it was amazing as well.
Well, yeah, I had animal duty, all the animal duties, including the chickens, right? And I had kids I had to take care of. I had to go pick up kids in the afternoon on Thursday, one kid, and then on Friday I had all kids all afternoon. So I had
Oh,
to
wow.
find them work and keep them busy and entertain them until the other
While
dad
he
came and
was
picked them up.
working.
Yeah, well, I was trying to work myself, right?
Yep.
Way to
Yes,
go,
no.
Tim.
That was awesome. It was because we do a lot of support for one of my sister's family, and so her husband and my husband handled all the kid care, and they were so great too because they were like, "Don't you worry about a thing, we got this," and they did.
That's awesome.
So ferocious cooperation, absolutely. Any other thoughts?
I noticed yesterday, we had most of our kids were home with their families, and they like we had a couple of meals together, but I hadn't really planned it out because the decision to get together was like last minute. And so it was pretty cool. Like I love cooking with my kids. Like I think it's super fun when we're all working together, and it's that ferocious um conglomeration
Cooperation.
of, yeah,
Yeah.
cooperation of just working together. And it just makes it that much more fun because then we're all able to do all the fun stuff together, enjoy the food together, and just it was awesome. I love that.
That is fantastic. I love it. Okay, well, good. Well, keep being ferociously cooperative. It's a wonderful world, a wonderful place to live in, and you guys have shared some great experiences about how that is true, and we can extend that and continue to extend that into our communities and into the larger picture of the world. We are going to go. So we're in this book still, 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class. We're on number 19. Champions are curious, and I need more light. All right, here we go. This is the quote from Samuel Johnson. He lived from 1709 to 1784. He was a writer. He said, curiosity is one of the most permanent and certain characteristics of a vigorous intellect. So, curiosity, stay curious. The great ones are always curious because they're always looking for an edge. At the root of their curiosity is the belief that one new idea or one new twist on an old idea could launch them to the next level. While average people tend to take things at face value, world class performers are curious to know how and why something works in an effort to make new distinctions that may benefit them. Champions have a childlike curiosity and tend to approach the world with a mindset that says, teach me. Their worldview tells them there is much more to learn, even in the simplest aspects of life. The more they know, the more they realize how much they don't know about anything, including their own expertise. They approach their work with the mindset of a beginner, eager to learn and open to new ideas. Professional performers are curious to see how beginners view their performance field and want to see if anything can be learned from people who are seeing what they do for the first time. Champions are masters at learning from other people's experiences because they are always asking questions. Their curiosity accelerates their growth through lessons learned vicariously. Okay, so good, right? That's awesome. Action step for today. The next time you are socializing with friends or associates, see how many questions you can ask each one about what they do and why they do it. Get as many details as possible. Most people are full of great suggestions for solving problems, yet no one asks for their opinion. Your curiosity combined with a beginner's mindset may yield unexpected solutions that you can implement immediately. I love that as well. Okay, curiosity. I'm curious. What are your thoughts?
I think as long as I've been in doing what we're doing, the more they know, the more they realize how much they don't know about anything, including their own expertise. There's always something more to learn, always something more that you can refine. And don't you love to be around someone that's just curious about what you're doing and what your life's about? And yeah.
It does. It makes you feel so good, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah, I love that. So true.
One of my daughters is amazing at questions. And I was listening to her yesterday just while we were all together. And every time she asks questions, I'm like, oh my goodness, where do you come up with the question? Like that's so awesome. But I just was thinking of how I realized that a lot of times in a social situation, my nervousness of being in the situation is what stops me from being able to be curious and to be able to have these great questions of learning more about people. And so I love that she's 18 and she's teaching me how to be able to ask these great questions of curiosity. And so I'm totally learning from her. I just love it.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. And I love that recognition also that our own fears or worries about what, where we are or how we're fitting in or how we're feeling, which are very real.
Mhm.
But it can take us away from that feeling of being curious, naturally curious. And the opposite is also true. If you're feeling anxious and you're feeling nervous, you can also, if you can get curious, then you can forget about your own anxieties and you can instead get really, really, you can start to learn from other people around you and you can just ask a lot of really good questions because you don't have to think up questions if you're curious because you actually are like, well, what
They
about
just
this?
come.
And what
Yeah.
about that? The questions just come because you're curious. So I think it's a great skill to work on too, of just like, and if you don't feel like you're naturally curious, then you could get curious about that, right? So you
Hey,
can
I
hey,
always
Brenda.
just kind of back that
oh,
up. Yeah, go ahead, Tim.
So I like the comment that Jennifer said, as she gets older and her frontal cortex is getting completely developed, right? She says, I don't talk much about myself when I'm talking to people. I ask lots of questions.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
finding out
that's one of our daughters.
she can have more meaningful conversations by asking questions and talking about herself.
And
So
that
she's
that is awesome. Yeah. And that helps you get out of that mindset of feeling like um like
everything's about
you're self-conscious because if you're curious, then you're not self-conscious because you're not
right.
thinking about yourself. You're thinking about what you're curious about.
Yep.
Wow. That's a revelation. Kathy, do you have your hand up? Oh, I
It's for Dean.
lost you.
It's for Dean.
Oh, go ahead, Dean.
I'm enjoying the conversation. Years ago, we lived in North Carolina. The next door was a old couple, the Louders,
I remember
and
the Louders.
I remember John talking with him, and I said, "Are these children asking too many questions? Are they bothering you?" He says, "Oh, I listen to them, and when they sparse off a little, I answer one or two of them." But children are naturally curious.
Hmm.
If you want to learn about curiosity, be around a child. They
Yeah, they
ask,
have so many questions.
they're uninhibited. They ask whatever they want. It's all fair game. I love that, and that's probably a great example on how to develop some curiosity. See, Exhibit A.
Mwah. I was gone all week, so she missed me. I missed her too. Oh,
can I?
yes. So good.
Oh,
Go ahead,
Linda was
Mary.
going to say something. Go ahead, Linda,
Okay,
and then I'll share.
We've read the book, The Edge. I can't remember it, but
the slight edge.
yeah, The Slight Edge, and just talking about this gave me the idea. I better go back and look at that book and see, if I can glean anything out of it.
That's a great idea. I love that. That's a good book too. Who's the author on that? Dean, do you remember? Jeff
Jeff Olson. Jeff
Olson.
Olson.
Yeah, The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Great book. Awesome.
Um,
All
I
right.
I wanted to share just really fast. I Do you guys remember what the emotional piece behind body odor can be? Bad body odor.
No, tell us.
Bring it
It
up.
can be the fear of people.
Ooh.
Oh, that's
So
so
think about it,
inconvenient.
right? Well, and if we're like trying to help our reticular activating system really it's like, hey, you have a fear of people, so I'm going to help you have bad body odor and push people away, right? How kind.
Oh, that's
But
hilarious.
I know. So I'm so excited. I figured out years ago that Birch and Cassia are fantastic for helping us to overcome that fear of people, but more quickly to get rid of body odor. do not put it in your armpits. That would burn. You just put it on the bottom of your feet. And like I have a little roller. I just made it again last week. So I'm like, ooh, I can tell I'm needing some of this. It works so fast. I use it night and morning. And then within like even that day, sometimes it takes a couple of days for our emotional state to
Yes.
catch on. But
Yes.
it works so great. I want to try it out. I would love it if anyone ever does. I want to try it out on middle school kids.
Oh,
I've got one. So I'm like, hey,
That is so
son, let's
awesome.
see what this does for you.
I
Mary,
love that.
I think I've heard that before, and I've actually mixed that up, and you can really dilute it for the underarms, and it smells really good.
Oh, do you still use it under your arms? Okay, good
Yeah,
to know.
this last
I have
time I
never
forgot to
tried it.
dilute it, and it's a bad idea.
Tell me the
That
second
sounds
oil.
like a dance.
Tell me the second oil. Birch and what?
Cassia.
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 Oh, that
Two
would
hots.
Cassia.
I love that
Body
so
odor
much.
and fear of people. Wow.
Yeah.
Another awesome support for body odor, feet and also your pits or your kids is the mud mask. doTERRA's mud mask is absolutely amazing. Do not walk around with it on your feet, and do sit and air your let it get good and dry. It takes a little bit of time, but it's very effective at sucking out those toxins and the bacteria from the pores. So that can also be super, super supportive. And maybe you could do that and then do the cassia and birch for the emotional support. But maybe it will help a little quicker just because you're getting rid of that bacteria so quickly. So awesome. Well, these are such great calls. I love being with you guys and talking about the different things. Let me see. For our action step, again, I'm going to say this. The next time you're socializing with friends or associates, see how many questions you can ask about each person and what they do and why they do it, and then really dig for details. And that's going to help you, one, not to be thinking about yourself, and two, to really learn some interesting things. And it's so interesting too, the more questions you ask, the more questions you start to have to dig into, kind of getting to know what that person is all about and how they tick. Okay. I didn't get this done, but I'm going to I'm going to redo the calendar, the successes scheduled calendar, because I want you to know what things are available besides our Monday morning meeting. And I want to make sure that you all know that you're invited to the different things. And if you don't have the links that I'm going to talk about, please reach out or comment down below and let me know. But we have actually also on Monday mornings, our upline lesson, Aria Phoenix, has a team meeting on Mondays from 10:30 Mountain Time to 11:30.
I think
And then
she's
on
changing that right now. Chris, did you hear her say that at the last
That's
call?
right.
I can't remember
Okay.
what time she said though, but just for right now. For
12.
the next little bit.
Hold on. I think I wrote it down. Maybe
Was it
12:30.
12:30 Mountain.
Yes.
Okay, so that time has changed,
Oh.
12:30 Mountain.
And then I don't know if it's temporary, but she's in Australia or something.
Okay, so it could
it's the middle of
be
the
a
night.
temporary change. Right. Right. And I don't know. I
Yeah.
think she's going to be there for at least a month.
That's
Tuesday evenings at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. The first Tuesday, we have the Learn More workshop where you can learn more about the business of doTERRA. The second Tuesday, we have an onboarding workshop where you can learn what to do if you're brand new with us here at doTERRA. The third Tuesday, we have a continuing product education workshop where you learn the more about different products or product lines. And the fourth Tuesday is the belief breakthrough workshop where Lassen and teammates will take us through kind of some mindset support to break through some of the negative or limiting beliefs that are keeping us stuck or that might be keeping us stuck. On Thursday, every evening, also at 6 p.m., we have the virtual wellness workshop. That's an online workshop all about doTERRA products. There's tons of people who get on and share testimonials about how the different products are working for them for many, many different situations and ailments. And so it's a great one. This is a wonderful one to invite your friends to and come and learn about it because it is just really fantastic. And then each month, if you are interested in doing this and you're local or you want to fly in and have the experience, there is a doTERRA experience. I think they call it Experience doTERRA training in Utah. They do a lot of this up at Andy and Natalie Goddard's home, and there's also a tour of the campus and the facilities um, where we do a lot of testing and where it's really fascinating. It's very interesting. If you've never been on that, that is something that happens every month. So if you want to know the dates on that, um, you can also just reach out and we have all of the information of when the next one was. I believe that they just did it for March this last weekend. So the next one will be in April, kind of towards the end, if I remember correctly. And all of our team meeting and weekly classes use the same Zoom link. So reach out again. We'll give that to you, and once you have it, then you'll have it. And then there's also available, if you're not a part of it, we have a team WhatsApp chat group. Some people get really overwhelmed with a lot of chatting, but there's a lot of good information that comes in there. And if you turn your notifications to not like completely off, or you could put it off and then set a time for yourself to go in and just kind of read through some of the comments so you don't feel that distraction all the time. But I encourage you to become a part of it so that you can become a part of the conversation, or at least an observer of the conversation, because you'll learn a lot of really good things, speaking of being curious. And our call, of course, is that, sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, you're talking about Lassen's WhatsApp. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, Lassen's WhatsApp group. Yep. Also available are our 2 Ginger training tracks. We have Ginger for customers, and that is available to anyone who has joined our team, who has purchased a product from someone on our team and is part of our wholesale customer link. I didn't really ask about if you have a retail customer, if you can do that. But I think they have to be a part of our downline in order for our contractual obligation to be met. So I think they would need to be a wholesale customer, but I'm not 100% sure about that. So ask me, we can dig deeper if we need to for retail customers, but they get a better deal, and there's no reason not to be a wholesale customer anymore because there's no fee for them to become a wholesale customer, and so they can just get your 25% discount. So
I want to ask,
yes.
I'm sorry, the no fee. I know you're on a roll. The no fee one, but when they enroll it with the no fee, they have to have do they have to have 100 TV order? They have to
No.
have a $15 order,
Yeah, any amount.
but it must be something. Okay.
They just use your link. Yep, they just use your
And-
link to purchase a product. Go ahead, Linda.
All of my reinstatements, they're trying just to be on the 25%, and they won't let them just do that. They make them be a customer again and pay their $25.
If they're renewing, it's a different thing. So if they've had an account in the past, because your link gets them 1 year of no
True, it's
fee.
been 5 or 6 years since they've ordered, and they're still making them do that.
Yes,
Right.
because they were a customer in the past, and so it's considered a renewal instead of
Okay.
yeah.
Thank
So
you.
it's a $25 renewal, and doTERRA will give them a free bottle of peppermint with that. So it ends up
Yeah.
costing them about $4 and less if you consider the retail price. But
Right.
I think it's very valuable. So just help them to understand what it is they're getting. They will pay the 25, but they'll get a bottle of peppermint.
But
So
they get
don't let them
about,
don't let them order a peppermint on that account. If they need a peppermint and they were thinking of buying one, don't have them do that. Just have them do something else, and then also they'll get that free peppermint as well.
thanks, Brenda, I appreciate it.
You bet. Mary, did you have something as well?
You answered my question. Thanks.
Okay, excellent. Very good. Okay, and then Ginger training for social media marketing. So we do still have that available, and it is really a great way to just become, um, you're sharing about different things, but you are doing it in a natural and authentic way. And Ginger has a lot of tools for you, including a Trello board where that will help you track your contacts and there's just a lot of really, really good stuff in there. So for those who are wanting to build a business, and particularly if you're building online, if you don't want to build online, you're not really into that, don't worry about using the Ginger training. If you're doing things in person and you're having success, don't change. Just keep doing what you're doing. But these things are available, and we just want to make sure that you know about them
Thank
so
you.
that you can use them. All right. Any last thoughts or questions before we wrap it up? All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for everybody that's catching the replay. Please post your comments or questions down in the comment section, and we will see you again next week.
Thank
Bye.
Thank
you.
you.